Drone shuts down airspace around the White House. This comes just days after a Fort Carson military drone crashed in a Colorado Springs neighborhood.
The Secret Service detained a man they say tried to fly a remote-controlled drone. The White House was on lockdown while the incident is being investigated. That lockdown has since been lifted.
KRDO News Channel 13's Greg Miller talked with experts about the complexities behind controlling and regulating those drones. Greg?
Yeah, Jason, Heather, turns out that these drones are being used by everyone these days, from civilians to the U.S. military, but regulating them is proving to be difficult.
Drones locking down the nation's capital.
Saw something in the sky and everybody's still yelling, go, go, God, 8th Street, 8th Street, get to 8th Street now.
Drones used for training and observation by the military, though sometimes they end up crash landing.
It had broken off of the main fuselage and the camera was laying in front of it and it was detached.
Instead of collecting data,
a drone would supplement that. So you could have a camera on the fence, but maybe you might want to have a drone that's a roving patrol, essentially.
Steve Recca is a human security professor at UCCS, but he spent 20 years in the Navy, specializing in intelligence.
It fills a gap. So how did we do it in the past? Well, we had more people involved. We had static cameras. We have airplanes were flying this mission, helicopters are flying these missions, satellites that collected imagery that would provide us. So now a drone fills some kind of middle space.
But where they can be flown by the public is still an issue. The White House has now been locked down twice for drone flight, fearing it was a security threat. The FAA restricts drone flights in congested cities, but the Colorado legislature killed a bill this month regulating where and how low they could fly. They're still used by Fort Carson in training and by civilians, showing a bird's eye view of a fire which hit Teller County earlier this year.
The policy side is the boring side, and that has to catch up with technology.
Now, the FAA says in just 3 more years, they're expecting 7,500 drones at least to be in airspace across the country. In studio, Greg Miller, KRDO News Channel 13.
Thanks so much, Greg.